So at UT Southwestern, we have a pretty robust clinical trial and clinical research program for patients with acute myeloid leukemia. The idea is that our outcomes for patients with AML have really not been great with the current tools that we have that are approved, and we always try to build on what we know works with novel therapies and therapies that would make the current FDA standard better. And oftentimes these come in the early phase clinical trials, such as phase 1 and phase 2 studies. One of the studies that I would like to highlight is the BEAT AML study, which we've had open for many years now. It is a trial that is sponsored by the Lymphoma Leukemia Society, and that study has multiple subarms that assigns patients based on the genomic signatures and personalizes therapies for those patients. One of the studies within BEAT AML, so one of the subarm studies, is looking at giving less of a medication called venetoclax, which is a pill that is combined with azacitidine, compared to the full dose, which is 28 days. The aim of that study is to investigate whether giving a shorter duration of venetoclax would result in similar outcomes, but perhaps reduce the myelosuppressive or toxic effects of venetoclax. Another study is looking at the combination of a backbone of venetoclax and azacitidine with a new class of medications called menin inhibitors. So this is one of the, I would say, most exciting class of medications currently being investigated in patients who have AML, but it's not for everyone. It really focuses on patients who have a specific gene mutation called NPM1 or a rearrangement in a gene called KMT2A. So patients who have a KMT2A rearranged AML or those with an NPM1 mutation in the AML cells are eligible to receive a class of drugs called menin inhibitors. We have at least 2 menin inhibitors currently in development in early phase clinical trials, and the results have been presented at multiple meetings over the past year, showing quite good efficacy, and so that's an exciting class of drugs that I would hope shows improvement and benefit over what we know works right now. So I would say right now, like here we have 2 menin inhibitors, revumenib in combination with ven-aza for newly diagnosed patients. We also have ziftomenib with intensive chemotherapy as well as less intensive chemotherapy for newly diagnosed patients, and also with ven-aza in the relapsed refractory setting. It's also, we have a new trial that is kind of upcoming and will be open soon, combining that with gilteritinib and with intensive chemo in the relapse setting. So there'll be like an option for patients, no matter where they are in their treatment, to be able to receive kind of a menin inhibitor in combination with the standard of care.